Om Gurave Namah. 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 Guru Namo Narayana. Om Namo Narayana. Guru Namo Narayana. Guru Namo Narayana. Jai Gurudev. For those Jai Gurudev people that are watching any of my videos today for the first time, Namaste. I'm Tiago, Namaste. I work mainly with Ayurveda, Yoga, and Jyotish, and much of this work works because of the guidance, the spiritual guidance of enlightened masters. And in this life, the physical master that it most easily appears outside is Shri Shri. Usually I do not flag this everywhere because I feel that our spiritual path should not all the time be just like put in the front door. It's more appropriate to have in a more sacred space, in a more sacred place, in a sense that only those that want to really have this information should take it. Because Guru, Jupiter, in Jyotish sense, only speaks when it's requested to, as a counselor. And like maybe 1 week or 2 weeks ago, I was just doing my sadhana, and I had this kind of perception, and they say, "Okay, let's go." Jai Gurudev. I've been practicing the Sudarshan Kriya and the sadhana of from Shri Shri Ravi Shankar for more than 80 years now. And there were several phases. There was time that I was really into Art of Living programs. There was times that I was completely out of them. But always somehow the sadhana of the practice of Sudarshan Kriya was important in my life since then, and the Sahaj Samadhi meditation. But the point is that as I work as a counselor, I do my best to keep these things a little bit separate. In a sense that for me, it doesn't matter if the person is doing Sudarshan Kriya, if the person is doing Kriya Yoga from Yogananda, Kriya Yoga from Babaji, Lini, or Ashtanga Yoga, or Hatha Yoga, or Bikram Yoga, or Tai Chi, or Ayahuasca, or Kung Fu, or Aikido, doesn't matter. The thing for me is that the spiritual path should be natural, in a sense that it should be comfortable. It should be a thing that the person has truthfulness in this path, because it has to be for a long way and it has to be practiced every day. So it should not be a thing that it was imposed by someone else or some father or some friend or some boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever. But the point is that I have been studying about yoga and Ayurveda and Jyotish for around 6 years now, depending on when we start the counting. And just like for last week, maybe 15 days ago, I had this understanding that I'm sharing today. Now, the point is that our emotions are very strong and potent. And if they are not exposed, if they are not expressed, they will create turmoils in the flow of the prana in our system, and this will produce psychological disease, pranic disease. In yoga, we have the Annamaya, Pranamaya, Manamaya, Gnanamaya, and Anandamaya koshas. There are 5 bodies, shelves, layers that we have in our existence. And yoga works directly in the pranamaya, that is the breathing body or the energetic body, and the manomaya, the mental, emotional body. And when we have emotions that are released by the karmic time of them to be sprouted, they start to unbalance. They start to disturb the flow of prana in the pranamaya kosha, in the nadis, in the chakras. And when they are not fully expressed, they obstruct or they disturb this flow. And we get sick. After some time, we get physically in the Annamaya kosha, in our physiology sick also. But most of the time, we are kind of neurotic in the psychological sense, that we have some emotional processes that are not fully expressed. And yoga has a very deep understanding about the flow of breath in the pranayama, in the pranamaya kosha, and the flow of emotions in the manomaya kosha. And Sudarshan Kriya and other kinds of Kriya, I'm just saying Sudarshan Kriya because it's the one that I practice and I am more comfortable to say from my own experience, not only from my studies. It creates a very powerful, I'm not going to say how you do it. If you want to learn it, you can go to Art of Living courses anywhere in the world. There are a lot of centers that you can look for it. But the idea here is to show the perception, the understanding that I received, let us say, in a way that when we are doing this Kriya process, the Sudarshan Kriya process, we are just like simulating all the emotions that we have through our breathing patterns, and this produces the effect of the release of the emotions without the usual external manner that they should go out. For example, like very angry with someone, and when you're breathing, it's just like, I'm going to kill this person. And during the Kriya, you're breathing somehow in this manner. Even if you are not fully aware of your Manomaya kosha, of where these emotions are stored, When you're breathing like that in the pranamaya kosha, you are just accessing, you're opening the keys, you're unlocking the doors for these emotions to be a little bit consciously expressed by your breathing. And this allows several neuroses, several psychological disturbances to be expressed in a more sattvic manner instead of killing someone in front of you. Is that when we practice this daily or regularly, this enables us to clean all the emotions that are stuck in our emotional, in our manomaya kosha, without having the need to live it fully in the physical body, in the Annamaya kosha. And this is very, very interesting because our mind usually sucks. Our mind usually is just like carried by a lot of impressions from this life and past lives that we are not fully aware. And we are being tortured by these psychological processes, these emotions that are not being able to express itself fully. But the point is that if you have like the therapy, that you just take the pillow and punch it, and you destroy it, and you say, "Oh, you are my father, and this is because of you." And we express this in a more rajasic manner. This creates a window for us to identify ourselves again with the emotion. And in this way, we are creating a new karma. For the last month or two, I was thinking, what is the difference between the word Kriya and the word karma? What is the difference between the Kriya and the word karma? What is the difference between the word Kriya and the word karma? I was with this going to surf, taking lunch, going to sleep, doing oleation, and say, what is the difference between Kriya and karma? And for now, the main difference that I feel is that the word karma implies that the action will leave some unfinished stuff, and the word kriya is not. So when you're making an action in a kriya action, making the action and finishing the action in that moment, it's not leaving any kind of unsolved action, karma, for the future to come back with it. So when we are practicing, I suppose any kind of kriya, but I can say the Sudarshan Kriya for the first times. Uh, Initially, it's very easy to realize the effect in the physiology, in the Annamaya Kosha. But after some week, month, years, this magical stuff, they usually don't um, appear so much, so easily for everyone, just as is usually, it usually happens in the beginners courses. In the nowadays it's called happiness course, but when I did it was art of living course, yes, plus whatever. But the thing is that if you practice this kriya process with the awareness in your pranamaya kosha, because it's easier, around just like one hand, one foot, or 1-2 feet in the space around the body, you are going to be able to realize the action of this process, this cleansing that goes around the body. This is very interesting. This is very powerful in a manner that we can start to just like polish the nadis, the flow of emotions through the body. In this sense, the practice of pranayama, bhajans, kirtans, and so on also have this effect. But the point is that the pranamaya kosha, has strong relation with the breath. And if we do this kriya process with awareness in our pranamaya kosha, this you need to have a little bit more practice in the pranic exercises, whatever. The effects are really, really beautiful. So this video was mainly to speak about Kriya process in general, but more specifically on Sudarshan Kriya. And also to understand the importance that yoga brings to releasing the emotions that are stuck in our emotional body in a manner that it's healthy, and not only in a manner that is cathartic. I don't know the word in English, but it's somewhere like that. In the way that we usually in the West release our emotions in rock and roll shows, or when we go to the movie theater. We usually express our emotions more from Shukra, from our Venus tools. They work, but they usually bring as a consequence the idea that the external world is doing the cleansing. And when we do this Kriya process more from Guru, from Jupiterian and pathways, this process was actually not ours. They were divine expressions of bigger consciousness, and we are actually, in a deeper sense, expressions of the divine. And if we were angry, if we were sad, if we were jealous, if we were greedy, doesn't matter. These emotions are not absolutely you. They're just transitorily you. So it's very good to have any kind of yogic practice or Tai Chi, Qigong, or whatever that helps you to have more awareness of your emotional body. When you're more aware of your emotional layer, kosha, this will help you to give importance to this cleansing and be more healthy in this psychological, we can say, emotional side of life. Okay, so thanks for watching. If you want to see the other videos in the playlist, the link is below. If you would like to do any kind of Ayurveda, yoga, or Jyotish counseling through the internet, please contact in the email tiaggonamaste@gmail.com. See ya. Usually these Namaste Speaks videos, they go once in a week. Sometimes the week's too complicated and it's not possible, but nowadays they are going with this blue tag there, so it's easier to find my channel. Okay, see ya. Namaste. Ajnanatimirandasya Jnanajana-chalakaya Chakshurum militam yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om. Namaste.